I mean, we had a 2-week camp earlier, I guess a month ago now, 2 weeks off and 2 weeks back here, and I think everyone was excited for those 2 weeks off, but eager to get back together. So it was fun seeing everyone today at the rink, and still early on in the year, so it's nice to get some skill touches in. I think it's always nice. I mean, like, winning individual awards in a team sport, it's kind of fun because you get to celebrate all the people around you too. But yeah, it's cool to add to the list of things that I've been able to accomplish in my career. But I think for me, there's a lot of things that I learned last year in my season with New York and things I want to get better. I mean, we went on a 9-game losing skid, and I think that at least weighs on me as like a top player on that team or someone who's looked to contribute. So I think it's awesome to have my first pro year under my belt and have some success, but I think there's a lot of things that I found that I want to improve in my game. It's not something I've really thought about yet. With how much skill work we're doing and in our practices, it hasn't really been a focus. But I think individually, like I love playing center. I love being down the middle, and playing with a player like Alex Carpenter last year is hard to say no. I don't want to play with her. I'm going to go play in the middle. So I think that was a big part of my decision to play wing, is being able to play with one of the best players in the world down the middle. But I think I've built my whole game my entire life about changing or breaking games open playing center. So we'll see if I get back to the middle, but I don't know. I think it's interesting because if I play wing, I can also play with Pooh, with Nursey, with Blair. Like, there's so many talented centers on our team, so it's hard to say I want to play center when there's really talented players already doing that in our league. So it's hard to say no to not being on the wing, but
they can move to the wing.
So I don't know, we'll see. I think it's good for me too. Like, I feel like I added a lot to my game playing more confidently on the wing this year, and kind of adjusting my game, which I feel like is always good to add more tools to your toolbox. It's interesting. Like, we definitely have different, I think, dynamics in our team, us versus the U.S. Like, they are very young and very college focused, but I think that's a strength of ours, of having people who've been around the block and have won numerous gold medals and know how to play under pressure, and have a lot of knowledge and experience to share with the younger players that we do bring into our program. So I think it's two totally different programs, different environment, different teams, different talent pools, but I think that's a huge part of our success, is having the same people around and knowing what we expect from each other and building like a really great culture and environment. I think so. I think I've always taken pride in playing like a full 200-foot game, and I think playing center, that's like part of it, being really good defensively, and I feel like now my game's developed more as like being a really big offensive threat, and I feel like I developed that more playing wing in the pro league this year, because you kind of have a lot less responsibility playing in the D zone. So I think that's the player I've kind of been moving towards, is just like being a constant scoring threat and bringing a lot of offense, but still like obviously being responsible. I think it's important. I mean, I don't know if leading up to the Olympics there's going to be a lot of specific pre-scout on like goalies in the league or players in the league, but I think there'll be pre-scouts of our league teams, and hopefully you just take little pieces of us pre-scouting, I don't know, like Boston's goalie, and kind of just keeping it in the back of your mind for future reference. But I think everyone's going to be taking little things during this kind of lead up to the Olympics of how do you get 1% better, because at the end of the day the margin between silver, gold, and bronze, at least this point, is in those tiny little gaps and spaces of the game.
Do you have a book on some goalies at this point that you're like, I'm not going to share what I know?
I mean, I love watching video, like, and that's something in New York I feel like I've really gotten into without having, like, now I don't have to worry about school and college and papers and everything. Like, I can do things that I like, am interested in, study things that I want to study, and me and the goalie coach out there, Gord, we have a lot of fun. We have a group chat this whole summer of like different changing your angles and goalie pre-scout, and it's something, I don't know, I just like love looking into that stuff, and he's been great. So there has been a lot of studying. Yeah, it's our job, like, and like it's your dream job, so like I love doing that. Yeah, I mean the season ends in May, but mentally, like, it's our job all year, and it pays the bills. And so, yeah, like when you're planning vacations or you're planning photo shoots and stuff, like at the end of the day, your performance on the ice is what, gets you that paycheck. So it really dictates your whole life, no matter if it's in season or out season. I don't think you'd ever want to get used to it, to be honest. I feel like the excitement about, elimination games, you always want that to be there. It feels like you maybe don't care as much if you don't get up for those games. Like, you want to be excited and there's something on the line. And I think at least with our program, we do it really well, is we're like every game matters just as much, because we're trying to obviously peak at the right time, but we have to get better each game. And I think in those, quarters, semis, games, like, you're really pushing to be the best version of the team that you've been on the whole World Championship. So there's a lot of the line for us, at least, and, we're obviously not satisfied unless it's a gold medal, so we got to make it there. Yeah, I mean, like, she's super dynamic. I've only really had the chance, I guess, the last maybe couple camps to see her, and she fits right in. I think for me, it's just so exciting to see how confident she plays as a 17, 18-year-old. I think I would have loved to have that confidence when I came on the scene when I was 17, 18. And yeah, she's just a great kid, and everyone wants her to, perform to her best abilities. And I think she's got a lot of talent, so it's going to be really exciting to see her, progress over the next couple months and years. I'm sure there was a lot of eyes, but I feel like when I was that young coming into the camp, I was so distracted by like my own like emotions about being at my first camp around players I idolize, like players I watched on TV. So I feel like I was so focused on performing at my best that I feel like I shut out the rest of the world, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I still like have everyone talking about like first overall and rookie of the year. Like, there's always a conversation to be had about things going on and hopefully being projected as, winning this or doing really well.
When I thought about that, it's like, well, you wouldn't know what it is like to be the eighth, like, that's all you know. So to ask you about it is almost like, what's it like to breathe air? Like,
yeah, it's like when people ask me about being a twin, and I'm like, well, I've lived with a twin my whole life. Like, I don't know the difference of not having a twin sister.
Yeah, what's it like being a twin? And you're like, what's
That's
it like
all I know.
not being a twin?
Yeah.